was I thinking? Why didn't I lock the door? Oh, I can't believe I said that. John's Shame Well. That's right, folks. We are deep in the well of shame. If you've ever thought for a second about your life, then you too will have been visited by shame. And it's our job here to rid the world of unnecessary shame.
I'm drowning in it.
You are absolutely drowning in shame, mate.
I get shame hangovers now.
Yeah, absolument, the worst type.
What is the science behind that?
I think it's B vitamins, which make you happy, are washed out by alcohol.
But why does it tend to happen to people in their mid-30s?
Just more memories to regret.
They should put vitamin B in alcohol then.
Yeah.
Well, I'd thought about this, if it was possible to make a drink that hydrates as much as it dehydrates, but it turns out that's just very, very, very weak beer.
Okay.
About 2%, I think.
If you're hungover though, if you were to drink lots of water with vitamin B tablets, that's the thing that people do, isn't it?
Yeah, I have a Barocca before going to bed, and it's like having a hangover through double glazing.
It's a thing that people complain about, but only ever in their mid-30s, that suddenly you get existential dread. I'd love to know the science behind it. John, do carry on with your shame.
Yes, this shame well is now going to overrun, and I only hold myself partly responsible for that, but it's an absolute belter. It's from Anonymous. About 3 years ago, I was recruited for a dream job. So many of them start like that. And started with a huge sense of excitement. Day one had gone well, and I was looking forward to day two when I would meet the rest of my team and the senior managers at their weekly meeting. The only downside to the job was the hellish commute from home through some of the most congested parts of West London. As a keen cyclist, I thought I would try a different route on day two. I studied the map and saw that I could park up and cycle the rest of the way to the office, thus missing the worst of the traffic via the canal path. All went well at first. The canal was easy to find and was cycle-friendly. However, the path was meandering, and before I knew it, I was very late for work. I had left early with my work clothes in a rucksack and a substantial bike lock secured around my waist for ease of carrying. I eventually arrived and parked my bike, which is when the problems began. I rummaged for my keys to release the bike lock from around my waist and realised, to my horror, that I had left it in my car 15 miles away.
Oh my gosh.
My blood ran cold. What should I do? I was so late. There was no hope of getting back to fetch the key.
Oh my Gideon.
Half the day would be gone by the time I made it back to the office, so I decided to plough on. I left the bike unlocked and went to the changing room, because obviously they need to change into their work clothes. Yeah. I tried to get undressed without my new colleagues noticing the issue, but of course this wasn't possible. Someone started laughing and pointing, and all the other ladies took a look at the shameful sight. It was painfully embarrassing. I showered avec bike lock with the added problem of oil and grease running everywhere in the shower.
Oh my gosh.
I emerged from the changing room fully dressed with a conspicuous bulge around my middle underneath my dress, which made me look like I had a large muffin top / wearing a chastity belt.
This is the best shame well of all time.
The events of the rest of the day were a blur of shame involving one of the office technicians trying unsuccessfully to pick the lock, a trip to a bike shop
Oh my God.
who suggested trying an angle grinder.
She would have looked like Robocop.
They were reluctant to use it so close to a person's body.
Oh no.
There were some odd glances, and the bike lock was so tight around my waist that I couldn't sit properly or eat much. Miraculously, my new managers didn't seem to notice the lock, and I made it through the rest of the day, eventually cycling back to my car and unlocking with an immense sense of relief.
Bike didn't get nicked though.
No. The next day, the story spread like wildfire through the office, and I was greeted with inevitable remarks from colleagues. Thinking that everyone had heard, I thought I would bring up the topic at after-dinner works drinks with my managers a few weeks later. As I started recounting the tale, their faces looked blank, and a tumbleweed blew across the table. It was clear that they had not heard the story and apparently appeared genuinely stunned by my unprofessionalism. Oh, Elis and John, please rid me of my shame.
Well, A, you did nothing wrong. B, thank you for providing me with my favourite shame well ever.
That is hilarious.
The idea of trying to go about your day with a bike lock around your waist.
Under a dress as well.
Under a dress, having showered and giving yourself in oil and grease.